So if you're a content creator or you're planning on starting a channel, you really need to take note of this important episode. What you're about to hear is not me. As a first question, we ask ourselves, how the let's call for a stop to the war. We are showing you these images to raise awareness among the people and to show our closeness. Let's call for a stop to the war. So that was actually an AI clone of my voice, and a remarkably good one at that. That was posted on YouTube in October 2024, and luckily a good friend of mine who knows my channel really well alerted me to it and just said, hey, you're not going to like this. And we played it back, and actually I thought it was really quite fun to start with, but then on further investigation things got a little bit heavier. So the first episode that we noticed was me talking about Elon Musk's company that did the chip implant in someone's brain. Brilliantly done. It's me narrating the whole program, and it's all just B-roll of that happening. Imagine being able to play with thoughts and your brain would be connected directly to the computer. And the first patient of Neuralink is Nolan, Elon Musk's company. So to explain how convincing that was, I actually played that clip to my daughters and they asked me why I was talking about Elon Musk. So this is my own daughters even believed it was me. So with a little bit further investigation, I found another episode where it's me talking about color grading. And what you're seeing is DaVinci Resolve. Now, this is what my channel's all about, and what was being said in there is definitely not accurate information. It's not how I would talk about color grading. And to be honest, it sounded like it was something that was done in ChatGPT and my voice added to it. So I was really not happy about this. Color correction comes before color grading and consists in harmonizing our image to have a neutral base ready to work on. We will equalize the exposure, reduce the highlights, increase the midtones, and apply noise reduction. This step is very important. So the next one we found seemed pretty harmless. It was a motor show, and it's the crew of this particular channel going around this motor show with me narrating over the B-roll saying, hey, here we are in London at the motor show, this is fantastic. But further into that episode started to get talking about war and politics. And this is something that I really don't talk about on YouTube. I'm doing an educational channel about color grading. This is not the platform for me to be talking about politics. So this was getting pretty heavy now. We are showing you these images to raise awareness among the people and to show our closeness. And we hope that all this will end. Let's call for a stop to the war. We then found another video with my voice being cloned. This time we're talking about how they made Oppenheimer, which would be, again, convincing. I talk about films, I talk about colour, but this one's got me swearing in it, so I'm now really determined to get this stuff taken down. We've found 4 or 5 videos now. Welcome to this new format entitled How the F*** Did They Do It?, where we will show you all the behind the scenes of the films. I got in touch with the guy who runs the channel, and sure enough, within 48 hours, a very long, painful 48 hours, and quite stressful for me, they did eventually come down. And in respect of that, I didn't actually report him to YouTube, but he did tell me that he didn't think he'd done anything wrong, and that 11 Labs, the company he used to do the cloning, who are probably one of the biggest ones at the moment, he doesn't see what he's done wrong, and he actually said to me, it's not my fault they invented this thing. So I don't know where we go from here, but I thought the best approach would be to get in touch with 11 Labs and find out what they're doing to protect people like me. So 11 Labs were actually very cooperative. They got back in touch with me really quickly, and I set up a Zoom meeting with their head of AI safety, and she went through a lot of in-depth stuff about how this technology is working and how fast it's growing. Now, they did decline to do an interview on record, so I'm just going to tell you a little bit about what we spoke about. But my main concern was if you take my voice and you want it cloned, so you just type in some text and you want to use my voice, you have to check a box that says you have permission to do that. Now, it doesn't actually verify that, so you can just do it and say, yes, I've got permission. So this was what I found hard to cope with, because that's obviously opening up. People do anything they want with my voice. Celebrities, politicians, all that sort of people are in a library at 11 Labs, so you won't get past them. But my voice now is in a library, so you can't do it now. But before this, you could just say, yes, I've got permission. This is what needs addressing. Now, the problem that they've got, and 11 Labs were talking about this, is that there's many different companies doing this, so you'd have to get in the library of everyone, and the technology is moving so fast, they literally can't keep up with how many voices need to go in this library to get approval. We sort of discussed this a little bit further, and really the onus is on, I think, channels like YouTube to sort this out. So YouTube should be recognizing my voice being used on a channel that doesn't belong to Darren Mostyn. and that should be being flagged with me having to verify it. This would be a perfect solution. So YouTube, Facebook, all these streaming companies need to be addressing this, and I do believe that this is what's in talks at the moment, and this is what could be happening. So this will be fantastic. This will be the first way of stopping my voice being cloned and being used in ways that I don't want it to be used. The other thing you could do is actually monetize your voice, but there's no way on earth that I want people to be able to pay to use my voice to say whatever they want. That's not going to happen. So just how easy is it to actually clone? Let me know in the comments, by the way, if you've been affected by AI, if you've been cloned, if you think it's okay to do the cloning, and think about subscribing to the channel, hit the like button, do all that stuff. But let me know in the comments what your views are on this, because it seems that some people don't think they're actually doing anything wrong. So 11 Labs gave me a copy of the software and allowed me to do what I want with it. So the first thing I wanted to do was check if my voice now needs verification, and I was very pleased to find out that it did. So how the verification works is you upload an audio sample of the voice that you want. It's then recognized that it needs verifying, and that same person then has to read the words on the screen and wait for the verification. Now, I actually failed the verification 4 times on my own voice, cloning myself. So it's either not that great at the minute or it's super tight. So I really do embrace this technology despite my early bad experience with voice AI cloning. And chatting to 11 Labs, we discussed some positives. So things like on my channel, I could be natively speaking in other languages using my voice.
Yeah, j'ai perdu environ 2 heures de ma journée. Un progetto semplice nel Blackmagic Cloud. Ho il mio... Tengo mi propria cuenta di cloud allí.
That'd be fantastic. Obviously, you've got text to speech, which is really helpful for people. And people with disabilities, they could actually have their own voice cloned, and this could be life-changing. Now, the real issue here is the software being used correctly and in the right hands, and the law really needs to change and keep up with this. This technology is moving so fast, I'm not sure how viable that's going to be, but it's really defining the guidelines as to when this is being used well and when it's being used in the wrong hands. And I also met a friend of mine. She's a big casting director in the UK, and I met her for coffee, and I was talking about this AI episode. And she said in the film and TV industry, this is a big issue at the minute, and have guidelines for actors to protect their voices by recommending that they do an avatar as lifelike as possible, record your voice on it, and copyright it. Now, how well this would stand up in a court of law, I have no idea, but I'm certainly looking into it, and I'll keep you updated on this channel as I find out more. So definitely do subscribing and hit the notification bell. The issue I've got with that is that the actors are generally under contract, so they've got a little bit more weight behind them, whereas content creators, I've got no contract signed between me and YouTube. I'm just delivering as much information as I can, giving you even more hours of my voice to sample and clone and get more and more accurate. And I did actually have to congratulate 11 Labs on the quality of the cloning. So my voice was pretty much there. There was a few words where I could tell, even at the cadence, the ums every now and again, the room tone was spot on. And now you've got SORA coming. So this is going to do the same for video as we've already got for voice at the minute. So this can get pretty scary. So I'm clearly going to be keeping on top of this AI technology. I'll keep you updated. I'll try and do another episode in the future. Maybe we can get 11 Labs to talk on record. We'll see. And if you see me on any other channel other than my own, it's not me. Okay, so look after yourselves, look after any other yous, and I'll see you in the next episode.